What's up? Okay, we back live. Okay, this is the day. MLK Day is the day where we're supposed to be a day of service and like all the things. There's like prayer breakfasts and things, but also this is the day when people fall off the proverbial cliff, where they're like they had some goals and some visions and some dreams and some things they said they were gonna do. They were gonna do for the new year. It's not the new year, y'all, but the calendar year. By the time you get to this week, MLK, Martin Luther King, they fall off that cliff. That thing is over with. They go back to their old frequency. And what you do most frequently, not what you do for 2 days, 2 weeks in January, what you do most frequently determines your frequency. And your frequency is just immaterialized. It's like if you had steam, if you had a room full of steam, right? Like condensation, and then you made that room super cold, like freezing cold, all of a sudden you would have ice. But before that, when it was steam, you can't touch it. You can't put your hand on it, but it's still there. Your frequency, you might not be able to touch it, but that's what's going to determine what ends up in your reality. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to take the opportunity to audit yourself on today. Are you going to be one of them people who just go back by the time you get to February, you just back to normal, back to what you were doing last year? Or are you going to be able to sustain and hold the energy long enough to start to make some shifts in your life and in your energy? So I'm going to do a bit of story time today. It's like story time with a little bit of a lesson in between. And I also want to invite you guys to join or subscribe to my Substack. I mean, it don't cost you nothing. You know what? Hit the button or whatever. Because I need 10 people on there right quick. I just finally turned it on last night. All right, I need 10 people to go on there so that I can go live on Substack. On Substack is where I'm going to give all of my, how do you say? When I do the breakdowns of history and what's really going on out here, my breakdowns of the headlines and what they're not telling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a deep dive on so many topics because what I realized, what I learned, and you guys give me that feedback, and that's how I know what's going on. What I realized is sometimes you guys are listening to me talk, and I'm like, it's the end of America. Not really, but just the end of America as we know it. You know what I'm saying? Just low key, And there's a class of people, listen, they don't look like you. I'm going to tell that story right now. But there's a class of people who not only do they know it's all about to collapse, but they're like, it's fine. And they just they're getting out of the way. When I keep saying we need to get out of the way, they're literally, they got bunkers. Listen, they're just like, we're going to chill. And there's going to be, societal and geopolitical and possibly planetary collapse. But after that, we're going to come back outside and figure it out. Like, it's fine. Like, they're preparing right now. But we are still acting like it's 2005. We still are caught up in celebrity culture and talking crazy to each other. So I have a couple of stories that I want to tell. And I also want to tell you what's going to be happening on the Substack so that hopefully you'll join me over there as well, because that's where I'm going to do all of my news drops. When there's a headline, when there's a something happens in the news, I mean, I probably would go live on YouTube, but I'm mostly going to do it on Substack. And the reason for that is we actually don't control these platforms out here, like anything owned by Google or Meta or whatever, like even this WhatsApp. I don't control this. I don't own the data, is in the word. So if you don't raise your hand and say, hey, put me on your email list, or click a button and subscribe to something, and then something happens to my account or they shut it down, it's nothing I can do. So I'm going on Substack specifically so that I can own the contact list, so I can keep up with y'all, because I'm not kidding. If they turn off something, you know what I'm saying, or Google changes some parameters, or the internet gets weird, we'll still be able to communicate with each other. Like, I'm serious about this community building. So let me tell y'all the story. This happened 4 years ago now, 4 years ago. And I put this story on my Substack, as a matter of fact, to start the Substack. But anyway, it's about 4 years ago. I was standing in a penthouse that was overlooking the city of Atlanta. Y'all been at my office, some of you have, but where the Ferris wheel is we were over there, and you could look out, you could see over Centennial Park, you could see the whole city, right? I was at a private dinner event, and there's about 20 or so people in the room. The combined net worth of the people in said room was about $5 billion. Not exaggerating. That's the type of room that I was in. But it was just kind of casual. It's no big deal. It's whatever. I'd be in rooms. What do you want me to say? And so everybody was just kind of chilling, doing whatever people do. And of course, I was the only Black person in the room, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so the conversation was really casual at first. Everybody was just kind of, going about. I think we were getting ready to go ahead and start eating and all that kind of stuff. And they were having small talk, pouring wine, and how people do. And they were talking about like, the grandbabies, and they just came back from, somebody went to Dracula's castle. He said, this is where we went on the trip. And they showing pictures, all these exotic vacations they be doing on the other side of the world and stuff like that. Okay, that's what you want to do in your spare time? Mongolia. All right, cool. So then somebody asked the question that changed the conversation, changed the atmosphere a little bit. They were like, so what are you guys going to do with the fallout from this war with Putin? And remember, this is 4 years ago now. So that was just a few weeks after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Okay, 4 years ago. And what happened after he asked that question is why I am talking to y'all like this. Okay. So after he said that, about an hour, everybody was like, oh yeah, well, actually, These people shape global markets right now. There are people in that room who make decisions that are affecting your life right now, whether you know them or not, you ever heard of them or not. Okay. And they were just discussing their little strategy like it was just nothing. Kind of like the way we might make a shopping list or be like, what do you want to eat? You want to go Uber Eats? Or DoorDash? Like, what do you want to do? They were just kind of casually. They weren't panicking. They weren't worried. They were just prepared. They were saying, like somebody from a very, very famous family. Again, if I call the name, you would know the name. I'm not saying no names. I don't do name dropping because I don't have to. I'm telling you what you need to know to get up out the way. Okay, so this very famous family, they were like, yeah, we're moving a lot of our positions out of the U.S. stock market, into some alternatives and whatever. They were like, the U.S. market, it's just a matter of time. Like, So, we're making moves. 4 years ago now, there was another tech executive in there talking about their family's compound in South America. There was somebody else in there talking about, because he said, oh, it's not that far. He said, we can get there in a couple of hours. So it's not a big deal. We're not concerned. If we get the call, we just go to our compound in South America. And then everybody in the room, they casually had a plan already to prepare for any kind of major shift in the global geopolitical landscape. It was like they were expecting this to happen. And then I kind of lost my appetite after this, because it's not the first time, it's not the second time, not third. This happens a lot. And I'll be the only one in the room because I have a relationship and a reason to be there. And then they forget I'm there, So they talk like this all the time now, but I just happen to be there. So that's like that time I was in the room with Jeff Bezos, his best friend, and they talk about, we need to hurry up and get to Mars and become a multi-planetary species. And we got $1 billion in cash. Bezos done liquidated, so we can hurry up and get to Mars. I mean, this is public record now. It wasn't then. And everybody, I'm looking around the room, and everybody was like, yeah, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm like, what? Can we get some clean water though? How about that? Like, they're not thinking about the same thing we're thinking about. But anyway, this part bothered me a little bit, but I'm used to it. Somebody in the room asked the question. They said, what about everybody else? I mean, what you think is going to happen to them? And the room got silent for like 3 seconds. That was about 3 seconds. And then somebody was like, well, there's not much we can do about that. Now, is there? And then they just went on back eating their steak, chilling. And I sitting there, I had to put my fork down. I'm like, hold on. Because I'm thinking about my mama. My grandmother was still alive at the time. My cousin down in Florida. I'm thinking about people I went to school with. Every Black person I know who's still out here playing by the old rules. These people are gone. They done gone. This is, y'all. They're already on something else. Okay. So then a few months later, I was at a NASCAR event. I got to find that picture. I'm going to stick it in the Substack. Y'all subscribe to my Substack, dollavant.substack.com. I was at a NASCAR event. I was invited there by a friend. We just hanging out in the president's suite. I forget what the event was. I feel like it might have been somebody's birthday, Michael Jordan. It was a bunch of people there. Many, many, many famous people there. Professional athletes, Grammy Award winning artists, and also some non-famous people. The most powerful, the most wealthy people in the world. You never heard of them, right? There were some state legislators there and all kind of folks. These people can walk down the street in a major city, just walk down the street, complete total anonymity. Don't nobody know who they are. But they're like extraordinarily wealthy. Like that's a real thing. So anyway, these people are in there. And my friend and I were just chilling. And then here comes this group of people. They just talking, child. They done had 2-3 cocktails at this point. So they just talking. So they got on the subject of what they were getting ready to do. Their like upcoming plans in life or whatever. And so one of these people, the talkative one, he was apparently like a documentary filmmaker or something. Like I should have known who he was or something. I know who this man was. But anyway, he's at least 2 drinks in. I know for a fact. Anyway, he seemed to take pride in telling us all his business. Okay, so he's just going on and on. And he's like, oh yeah, we're leaving America. He said, we're headed to Portugal. There's a lot of us there. There's a lot of Americans there now. You know, he's just going on and on. He told us all about the grandchildren, all, you know, He's like, I'm almost at retirement age anyway, so we're just going to go ahead on. And he started telling me all the famous people he done work with. You know, I photographed the U.S. president once. He said, I don't remember. I'm like, I can't remember which president that was, child. But he's going on and on. He's like, yeah, and they're switching off the U.S. dollar, but we're already on it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? What did he say? What does that mean? I don't know. But he just talking. And so I couldn't ask no questions because I thought this is the margarita talking. I don't know. And then so his wife finally comes and drags him. Oh, honey, we got to go say hello to these people. So she drags him off to somebody else. They're just talking, child. He's running around, having a great time. So right before she pulls him off, he leans back to me and he says, oh, by the way, make sure you get you some XRP and some XLM. He said, they're going to be huge. That's what he said. And he just, huge. And he just went on. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Wait, what? Now listen. And I'm thinking, is this what he meant by the US dollar? I don't know. This man is inebriated. I don't know what he's saying. I can't really trust an inebriated man talking like this in the middle about global financial affairs in the middle of a day party. Surrounded by, this was the most random mix of celebrities, politicians, and powerful people I've ever been in, ever. Well, actually, the second most random, but we won't talk about that. But I didn't know what this man meant. I didn't know, but it got my wheels turning. I was like, hold on. So I did some research. This is why I be yelling at y'all. And I'm like, XRP. But this is the problem. This was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. What were you doing in 2022? Okay. They knew then. The game as we know it is already over with, you guys. It's already over. They were already moving their pieces off the board back then. Okay, this has happened to me many, many times. Like in 2020, we got the heads up that they were about to shut the whole world down for the pandemic. A good 3 months before everybody else kind of knew what was going on. By the time, March 2020, and by the time it was on the news, and it was like, oh, and they're canceling the NBA season and all of that. I mean, what you gonna do then? It's too late. Nothing you can do about it by then but shelter in place. But wealthy people had already been moving out the way. Okay, so these are the kind of conversations that always leave me feeling really uneasy. Not because I'm shocked, like I'm used to them being like, oh, hate it for everybody else. Like we're fine. Like that's what they're basically saying. But I've been in enough of these rooms. I know how that goes. But listen, fast forward to right now, today. I just got up with a phone call. Y'all know I'm teaching y'all how to hold the energy of somebody who makes money every day. Every day. You should be making money in your business every day. Why? Because that's normal, but also we got to hurry up. So I just got a phone call. Somebody was trying to sell me something. I mean, they weren't a terrible salesperson, but they weren't great either. So like every time they would say a point and I would be like showing interest in what they were saying, then they would turn around and tell me something negative that some other, they're trying to get Black businesses at this particular thing. And I'm like, well, I know I'm Black, but what they got to do with my business? But what are we talking about here? So I liked what they were trying to be about, but she was doing too much. Anyway, she kept talking herself out of the sale. Okay, because she kept saying, yeah, because everybody else we talk to, they don't want to spend no money. And everybody else we talk to, just giving me really bad energy. And she don't have no coach. Y'all need a coach. Somebody better call Doll. She does not know that money is energy. All purchasing decisions are emotional decisions. It's how you make me feel in the conversation. Not, you don't know me. You don't know if I had the money or not. What she was asking for was quite reasonable. I thought the offer was good. But she talked herself out of it. I don't think she knows that because she was unprofessional, because she didn't believe that she was going to get the sale, because she has been talking to people who are below her frequency and people who couldn't afford her product or service. So she assumed that I was going to make it an issue about the price. I didn't say nothing about the price. She went on and on about people don't want to spend money and people Hold on. I didn't say that. I like what you. Okay, fine. So y'all, we be talking ourselves out of money because we're not tuning our frequency. But let me tell you, she went on and on and on about what Coca-Cola know how to sponsor, and when this person come and this company come and they want to drop $150,000, and they know they're gonna send product, and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that, and they're not looking for an immediate investment. But Black people, she said, they want to see an ROI right away. Again, you don't know who you talk to. Apparently, you don't know who you're on the phone with. I mean, I took the call for one of my business partners because I'm inserting myself in their business to show how this process works. And so she don't know who I am, child. She didn't Google me. The other phone call I had today when I did that for them, the person had Googled me. They came appropriate. They came with the proper energy. They were like, oh my God, I'm just so happy to be talking to you because hello. But anyway, I'm very Googleable. Anyway, she didn't know who she was talking to. So she talked herself out of the sale. But the point is, we still got time to be acting like it's 2005, trying to be cute, worried about what celebrities are coming. She's naming B and C list celebrities that are going to be there, people that I could pick up the phone and call because you don't know who you're talking to, ma'am. And she's like, yeah, they're going to be our honorees. And so this is what we're going to have going on. And da-da-da-da-da. And other people don't see the value, but this is what we're doing. And we're not changing our price. And Coca-Cola writes the check. And this is why we can't get invited to the BET Awards as Black businesses because we don't spend no money. She is going on and on and on. And I was like, wow. Okay, wow. And then I came with another angle. I was like, well, do y'all do this all the time? Do this full time? Is this what you do? Like, is there another opportunity? I tried to find another opportunity to work with this young lady. And she still talked herself out of the sale. And this is what I'm trying to say. Our frequency, we are locked into an old game. When these people who made the game have unplugged the game, they have taken the TV down off the wall, they have packed up all the game cartridges, they have called the moving truck, they are out, they have moved the game. America as we know it is over with, y'all. Done, data. But we still got time. They're on TV. You've seen it online. They got bunkers. Has anybody stopped to ask, why does every billionaire in the world have some type of amazing compound or underground bunker? What is it that they're preparing for? What's going on? There was an article in the New Yorker in 2018 talking about these bunkers and how much money the companies who build the bunkers are making. And the owner of the company said, all of these billionaires, all of them, they refer to it as the event. They said, we're just getting ready. They spend millions and millions of dollars. Some of them go 11 stories under the ground. They got gyms. They got spas. They are preparing for what they call the event. But we got time to worry about what 50 Cent was doing, looking petty, talk about the Diddy thing. We know what Diddy was. Y'all, that's why I keep saying, I brought it up. I used to say 1985. I have brought it forward to 2005. It is not 2005. Y'all, we can't still be worried about Pam from Martin. I love these people. These are amazing actors. We love them all. What's on the feed right now? They said the one white man she dated in the 90s. If I called this man name, half of y'all wouldn't even know. He ain't even that famous. It's not like Brad Pitt or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like a random white actor from some show that, if you saw him, you'd be like, oh yeah. Or maybe not if you saw him, but if you saw the show name, you might know the show, right? And she dated this man one time in the 90s and it didn't work out. And that was that. And now what's on the feed is Pam tried to hide the fact that she dated this man, this white man in the 90s. This is on the front page of Breakfast Club. Not the fact that there's a class of people out here who control all of these devices, by the way, which is why I need you to join my Substack, because ain't no telling when and how and when who gonna get shut down. We can't be saying all this stuff outside in public, but I feel like I gotta let my people know what's going on. I gotta let you know. I gotta let you know what's going on. But those same people have already decided they're going to go ahead and let climate change go head on. You notice they stopped talking about climate change? Does anybody notice that? Before it was like, oh my God, The earth is warming. Like we can't, and now they're just not talking about it no more. Now they're building more data centers. Now they're using more water. Now they're poisoning more communities. Y'all know this is my work. Y'all know that's why I'm globally recognized for this work. I know what's going on out here. All these data centers, the $500 billion that we announced to build data centers everywhere and to be the AI superpower of the world, it's destroying the planet. Like, it's not sustainable. But you know why they're cool with that? They're cool with that. This is why we want Greenland, because it's going to go ahead and melt the ice so we can have more shipping routes up there in the Arctic Ocean. And so we can go ahead and get the stuff out the ground, the little minerals and stuff, and we won't have to dig and spend so much money to dig. Just go ahead and let it melt. This is the plan now. This is the plan. But we got time to talk about who Pam was dating. Pam from Martin dated a white man in the 1990s. Y'all, they're distracting us. The greatest wealth transfer in history, in human history, is happening right now. But our people don't know what's going on. We don't even know that the game clock is counting down. It's counting down. We have no idea. We're still distracted by celebrity drama, political theater. They're moving assets. They're securing second passports. They're buying land in countries most of us cannot find on a map. They are building systems that will cement their power for the next century. 100-year plans. And they're quiet about it. Because the best opportunities always stay quiet, y'all, until they're gone. So that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm starting the Substack, because I can give you all the history. I got receipts. I could break it down for you. Not to scare you, not to make you feel hopeless. I'm going to put articles together with receipts. You can see all of my sources. When I'm talking, I'm not just talking to talk. I'm very entertaining, but I don't have time. I got other stuff to do. I ain't got to be out here talking to y'all about what's going on and what these people are doing. But nobody else is talking about it. None of our leaders are talking about it. They still mad talking about, we told y'all this was going to happen if you didn't vote for Kamala. Y'all, I mean, that ship has sailed. What are we going to do now? Like, telling you I told you so is not helping the fact that we could all be outside on the side of the road in a minute if we don't do something different. Hey! But they don't want to have this conversation, so I'm going to have it. Not to make you feel hopeless, not to scare you. I want to give you a place where you can send an article to your grandmama, a video to your mama, and say, Mommy, watch this. This is what we need to talk about this. We might need to do something. This is why I need you to go get your passport, because we might have to leave America. I ain't going nowhere. Mommy, this ain't that. We lived through the 1960s. We lived through we made it through all this other stuff. Mommy, this ain't that. They didn't have drones that were going to follow you and come get you out your house. The robot come to the door and evict you out the house. They didn't have that in the 1960s, Mommy. It's different out here now. So I'm going to give you stuff that you can send to your family, send to your people, and let them know, hey, we might need to have a conversation. We might need to do something different. We might need to not have all of our money in USD. Just a conversation. I'm going to give you everything that I've got. All the same intelligence, same receipts, same frameworks, same strategic foresight, all of it. So you can go talk to your family and they can know what's going on out here. Because it is true that we have survived a lot. And we know how to move when we have to. That is all very true. However, we've never faced what's coming here. So if we don't get ahead of it, they can win. But if we get ahead of it and get out the way, I want to talk about countries that are welcoming to people that look like you and me, that you could move to. If your spirit has been telling you, you need to move. Where do we go? I got a whole network of people all over the world. They've been on the ground. They'll tell you, okay, they don't like Black people over here. They love Black people over here. You go over here, you be fine. You go over here, they're going to mess with you. Come over here. You know what I'm saying? Which countries are not going to be impacted if he's not going to invade Greenland, because we can't win. You need to know that. Our military cannot survive in that terrain. All of those European countries, they train in the Arctic. We don't. That's why he keeps saying, I want to buy it. I want to buy it. I want to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I think I'm just going to buy it, because he can't invade it. If he could, he already would have. You need to know that. Who's talking about that? I don't see nobody talking about it, so I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all join me on my Substack. It's dollevant.substack.com. Just go on over there. It's free. Click the little button, do the little thing. You'll be in there. Can you do that for me? Do that for me. Do that for me. I'm going to put it in the chat right here, right quick. And then I'm going to be done. because I'm streaming, y'all. So some people streaming. Okay. Will y'all join me on Substack? Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have part 2 of story time on tomorrow, but I got a call at 5 o'clock because it's money. Money be calling my phone. So do y'all feel like they're hiding things from us or just distracting us from what's really going on out here? Let me know what you think. Put it in the comment, put it in the chat. And I got more story time. Oh, I just got started. So I'll see you on the next one. Until then, I gotta go. We're out. Pew!